In my video today, I would like to talk about using the saxophone as a rim flute. So if I take the saxophone mouthpiece off, I basically have a neck that I can play like a rim flute. Among all my grafted instruments, playing the saxophone as a rim flute is the only common technique. It has been described by Jay Easton and others. And today I would like to talk a little bit about the origins of the flutes, and in particular in relationship to my rim flute on the saxophone. So the two flute types we know in Western music is really the recorder and the transverse flute. And the recorder is really interesting because it guides the airstream, so it's a beginner instrument. Actually, that was the first instrument I ever owned. And it's really nice because by having a duct system, you don't have to find the right angle. So one of the instruments that comes closest to the sound production of the saxophone as a rim flute is the Turkish ney, which is a fairly long flute instrument, and it has an opening on one end. It has a little mouthpiece to better guide it, but basically it's just a rim, and you produce the sound by blowing against the rim. Before I play, here's a close-up of the edge. The dark sound of the Native American flute can serve as a sound ideal for the saxophone played as a rim flute. So the bore of the Native American flute is much wider than the European counterpart, the recorder. But it also has a duct system to guide the airstream, and this is how the instrument sounds. So usually this instrument is played with reverberation. You find on many sources how the reverberated sound is important. So let's play this again and put some artificial reverberation on it. So what has not been messaged well in literature is that you can play this instrument also in tune. It has always been said that you can get some wake, fade tones out of it. Don't try to play them in tune, and you can play them over a wider range. And I just don't think it's true. What you have to do is you really have to practice this instrument for a long time, and you have to be able to adapt your vocal tract to match the impedance of the instrument. This is an inverse conical instrument. The recorder is inverse conically shaped, the bore. The transverse flow is cylindrical shaped, and it's a real challenge to play an instrument that is now open on both sides. If I put my saxophone mouthpiece on top, it's close to the top, open to the end. That makes it perfect for a conical instrument. I take the open end off, the mouthpiece off, I have an open end. That makes it very difficult to play. But you can play it over a fairly wide range. And also here you can put some reverberation on it to make it sound more, for example, like a native flute. You can also play, for example, this tone with circular breathing to get the idea of this eternal tone. So that's my video for today. Thank you very much.